Anyway, so we finished up and we were in there for an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, because when we went to go get ready to go eat, it was like 1:30, or when we came out of there, it was like 1:30 or 1:45, and we had been out there for a little while. And he's like, we went into the room at like 12 o'clock.
Wow.
And we just came out.
Yes, we must have gone back there at like 11:30 then, because I remember us saying something about midnight, but we had been in there for a while. You know, we were in there for like half an hour before we actually went into that room.
Bar opened, but I don't know. I lost all track of time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, then after when we got secondly, the next to us, and there's a glass partition. You know, it's a full glass between the rooms, not a window, but entire like a glass wall.
Yeah.
And then you have lights, and you can dim or put as much light as you want. So if you want people to watch, or if then they can see in.
Right.
And so next to us, there was this guy with a huge cock, and
I didn't even get a chance to look at this.
He was huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and 4 women.
Big women.
Yeah.
They were all big.
They were all big, yeah. I like them. But, yeah, and so so they were all going down on each other while he was f***ing them from behind, and then he went around and he basically just made the round, all these girls. But when they first got in there, though, they were obnoxious as shit, because they were laughing and loud and talking, and it was really, for me, distracting. You were in another world, but they were young also.
Yeah.
Like 20s type young.
Were there people in there before them?
There might have been a different group. I don't know. That very well could be, because that might be the case. Because at one point I looked over and there was a guy just standing there watching while I was going down on you, but it wasn't that guy. So there must have been a different group in there. But I kept thinking, well, are you guys here to fucking talk or play?
Right.
And like get to it and shut up. And it's one thing to be loud with moaning and grunting, but to be in there just like talking and laughing is obnoxious as shit, I think. So I think you're right. That must have been a different because then the guy and the 4 girls, they were there to play. Yeah. So as the 4 of us were just kind of chatting and relaxing and looking over, watching them.
Right.
And then we went to the group room, and it was packed, because when we had walked through there before, there wasn't anybody back there. But
right.
It was 11:30, and it was absolutely packed, and just people fucking everywhere.
So they only have, is it 4 mattresses in the middle?
In the center, yeah.
And but a bunch of beds along the outside wall.
Yeah, all the perimeter walls.
Area, places you can sit and play.
Yeah, so there's a lot of play areas, but it's not like...
and what's different about that, although... Yeah, when we went in there and it was packed, there were a bunch of people fucking on the bed.
But there were a lot of people just sitting and watching.
Yeah. And they don't, it wasn't people asking to join in. They weren't really necessarily looking to switch partners and stuff like that.
I noticed that too. It didn't look like anybody was swapping. It looked like, because nobody was using condoms. I didn't see any condoms.
Huh. And
so I think it was basically all people with their own partners just in a group. I could be wrong, but I didn't see any. I didn't. There were a lot of people just sitting and watching, with their towels on.
Yeah.
And a big, huge pile in the middle, and then and lots of people around the perimeter that were playing. But I would say probably at least half or more weren't playing.
You're right.
Don't you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of people just
sitting and watching. Yeah, which is that's cool. That's fun. It's hot too. We did the same. We just stood there weren't any places to sit because it was so packed in there. So we just stood and watched for a little while.
Right.
Which geez, I can't get enough of live sex. So I think it's hot as hell. So that was fun. So we didn't spend much time. 10-15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
In there. And then we went back out into the pool room area where they had whatever that contraption was
the kind of pseudo gynecologist chair, welded frame chair. The
woman that was on her back there, and her man f***ing her, and guys would come up, and actually first the girl came up and started playing with her clit while the guy was f***ing her, and then guys would come up and play with her nipples, and that was pretty hot, and we went over and watched a little bit.
Yeah.
And you pointed out that I had my opportunity to go and her when she was sucking the dude's cock and had her ass up in the air waiting for somebody to come, and then somebody else went in and started fingering her, and she's like, "Oh," and you said, "Oh, you just missed your chance." She was
just turning to
she was displaying.
Yeah,
I would have with your prompting, because I probably wouldn't have done that on my own. But I know, I should. But yeah, we turn around sucking somebody's nipples.
Oh, yeah, drunk.
Yeah, drunk. Sucks nipples everywhere. I mean, I saw him suck a couple. Oh, and like when we were getting dressed and you were in the bathroom, yeah, he started playing with two girls that came in that was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started playing with her boobs and yeah, sucks nipples everywhere. So then we kind of were all like, we're ready to go get some breakfast.
Yeah.
And we didn't get dressed because we didn't really know what we were going to do. Yeah. And so, and I remember, so as we're in the buffet line, and the breakfast was awesome.
Yeah.
The food was just
it was really
awesome.
Good.
So we spent $110. We got the $20 off for signing up on
right.
SLS. And I'd say that is well worth it. I mean, in terms of just the food, and we bought a $20 bottle of Ciroc, a small bottle of Ciroc that we drank pretty much the whole thing.
Right.
Because on the surface, it seems like it's expensive, but it really isn't when you think about the fact that we had 2 awesome meals.
Right. And could have eaten.
And we could have
whatever you wanted, all you could eat. So if you wanted to eat more, you could have.
we each had we each had 3 doubles. And so that's the other good thing. We learned a lot about just general things that are going to be applicable across clubs.
Right.
Don't forget flip-flops. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah. Cover up for you. Like a little. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah. So that was good. But honestly, I was totally fine walking around town. So that's what I was about to say. So here I am in the buffet line. Think about where I am. Where I've come. We were talking about, the other day, we were talking about, which we can talk about again, but talking about all the things that I've noticed about you that have changed in the last year and a half, or not year and a half, but 14 months, whatever it is. But I was thinking, as I was standing in line, loading bacon onto my plate, standing in a towel and nothing else, in a club, and there are people dressed, people around us that are dressed full nines, club wear, and just in my towel. And I look over, and there you're sitting with you're with your towel, and I'm like, wow, we really have changed a lot. I could never envision myself doing this,
right?
And then and there we're sitting down, the 4 of us, and we're all in our towels and naked, otherwise, and eating breakfast. In a dance club, people around.
Right.
It was kind of surreal.
Yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Did you notice something? I looked over, and then there was out in the dance area, there was a woman giving a guy a job on one of the little bench things.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So I guess you can play.
Yeah.
There too.
You can play anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a private club. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think after everybody, so the sex rooms, that's where everybody goes, because that's where they're...
Yeah, because it was empty, other than, so like, in the buffet area, there were probably, I don't know, maybe like 10 people eating, but they were all dressed.
No, the tables were all pretty full. No,
were they?
Yeah. There's the, tables on the outside.
Oh, that's true,
it was pretty full.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that were dressed as a lot of people that
with
had
their towels,
or their cover-ups just like us or whatever. Yeah, so it was a big mixed bag.
The dance floor was empty, though.
Dance floor was empty.
But because everybody was back.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
so you were either in or eating.
Yeah, that's...
Yep. Or in the back, in the back partying. Because that's where, the whole party moves to the back bar, and there's a lot of people standing around talking and chatting and
it was awesome. I had a great time.
Yeah, but it was really so what I did, like I said, was very, very different. You're right. I didn't really think about that. Nobody had condoms on. Although, did the guy next door have a condom on?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. It just it's not that nobody did. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, but nobody was like really trading.
Yeah, not that we could
swapping.
Not that I saw.
Yeah, so it was more just people kind of going and having sex in front of other people or watching other people. But so I didn't look on the big bed long enough. But if that had been New Orleans, you kind of start with your partner, but then you're kissing on somebody else, and then you may end up moving along, or it seemed that way anyways at the group room in New Orleans. Yeah,
that's my perception, and I think there probably are a lot of people who go just for that purpose, just to kind of be in the environment.
Yeah.
And whereas in New Orleans, those are people traveling from all over the country to as much as they can.
Yeah.
Which we weren't ready for last year, which I imagine we will be up for this year.
I would think so.
I would think so. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is, so I really, really super want to, the couple of times that we played in the group beds at Caliente at the after parties, I was totally fine, loved it, not shy. I was a little intimidated, and I don't know that I could have just like hopped into that bed and started last night.
In the group bed?
Yeah, it was. I think it would have been a little too much for me. And maybe even, and I don't know about along the walls, and I almost wanted to say, hey, let's give this a shot, see if I can do this. When just the two of us were, because we went in by ourselves at first, and they were still out in the pool room area, but then they came in right behind us. But anyway, so I almost turned to you and said, let's, because some people left from that back corner. So I said, let's go back there and play a little bit. I just want to, kind of get into this environment. Yeah, I don't think I could have just hopped into the middle. But I want to get to that point where I thought I was close, based upon a couple of group experiences at Caliente. So that's something I still want to work on before New Orleans. So I really would like to go to Eyes, a couple of times. And just the two of us, and not even worry about meeting people there. If we do, great. If we swap, great. But just go with the intention of just the two of us are going to play, just so that really more me, and I can get comfortable, because I'm the one who has to perform. So anyway, I did notice that last night, because I thought I was farther along than apparently I am. And maybe it's just because but even at Caliente last time we went with, and where we had to wait our turn to get a bed, it was packed, right? And I was fine. I f***ed you very well, right? And so based upon that, I thought, I guess I'm cool with this. But I don't know. This just seemed a little more. I guess maybe because it was so much more open.
Could be,
yeah, it could be. Anyway, bottom line is, so that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. The thought that was spurred that I would like to, and I have told you this before, that I want to go to Eyes and just do the group room a couple times just to kind of warm up for New Orleans.
Okay.
Because New Orleans, I want to be ready to go, hit the ground running there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so we had a great time. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Totally go back. Now I want to try the one in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we ever make a trip down there. So, great weekend. Well, then we came back. So we left there at 3?
Yep.
Yeah, we left at 3. And then
we're back by 3:30.
Yeah. And you said to me, not done yet. And I said, well, I'm not done yet either. And so,
yeah, because he said to me, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, and I said, I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you just want to be with him by yourself, that's fine. But because we were making the assumption that he was done too. He was ready to go to bed. Right. Because she was exhausted, and usually she is the one who wants to go to bed.
Well, and he said, in the car, when we were on the way back, she said something about being tired or whatever, and he said, I'm not done. And she said something about being tired, and he said, well, then you should go to bed. And I don't think she liked that very much. She blew it off. Yeah. She's like, oh, no, I'm good.
Well, that's why, and I said to you, well, whatever, because we kind of, you and I talked, like, the first night, or I guess maybe it was Saturday morning, and we're like, man, it was when we were talking about the sleeping arrangements, and you and I said, basically, well, we just need to follow their lead, and really follow her lead, and whatever she decides we do, whether it's who sleeps with whom, or who f***s whom and when. Right. We just will do whatever they want to do, or whatever she wants to do. Right. Which is why I said to you then last night, yeah, I would totally, if she goes to bed, and I'd love to have a 3-way with you, but if you would rather just have the two of you, that's fine too. I'll go get in bed and check off and listen to you. So I was pretty flexible. So yeah, I went back there, and you were on the bed with her, and
yeah, I just went into...
And I almost left because I couldn't tell, but then, whatever.
I went in to just say goodnight. He was in the bathroom, I think. So I just went in to say goodnight to her, and, thank you and whatnot, because I really enjoyed our time together. So then we, started kissing.
So we were all before just on the bed and chatting, and, you and were stroking each other, and you said something about us going to bed or whatever, and then you started,
it's like, and they were practically falling asleep. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm, it was 4 o'clock.
Next thing you know, he's f***ing you from behind. Yeah. and she's kissing you, and she's playing with your tits, and I got the f*** away and watched, because I'm like, I just want to watch this. And, I just, wanted to enjoy watching. So that's why I kind of backed away to the corner of the bed. I stroked your hair a little bit while she was stroking your hair, but yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
But you're saying you didn't come when he was stroking you from behind? Because it seemed like you were.
I came one time, but I didn't squirt.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, I came twice, but I didn't squirt.
Yeah, because I thought you were having orgasms.
Yeah, but I didn't, like, I knew there was, that I could actually squirt. So I was just having, like, one of those smaller kind of orgasms. But, yeah, there was the one time that I was right on the edge of, like, being able to squirt. He changed his rhythm or his motion or something.
Yeah.
So. But anyways, it's all good.
Yeah, but that was hot.
Yeah, that was hot.
That was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just pleased as could be to sit back and watch, because that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually is kind of my big takeaway from the weekend, and I know I say this every time we have a couples date, that, you know, I love being with couples, and I love being with other women, but at the end of the day, what really turns me on is watching other men f*** you, or me participate, or having, you sucking my dick while other guys f***ing you, and switching off, and, and, like, on Friday night when I was going down, I was really listening to you in the other room while I was f***ing you, because that was exciting me almost more than what I was doing with her, which is why we separate, because I'm distracted by you. Mm-hmm. But even when down the hall, I still was listening for you and was still getting turned on. I was using that thing to turn me on more than eating her, which is a beautiful, wonderful pussy.
Uh-huh.
And she's, she's an incredibly sexy woman, and I really like her. But at the end of the day, what I enjoyed the most out of the weekend was watching her. And it's just the way I'm wired, I suppose. But, that's what turns me on.
Yeah.
I love being with other women, and I'm not saying I'm not going to, that I don't care about that, because I do. But, I'm really realizing that, for me, my turn on is not the couples, it's the single guys, and that component of our play that I enjoy the most. And, like I said, I say this every time, we're talking after a couples date. But it really came into stark relief this weekend, because I was with a woman that I really like, and that I'm really turned on by, and that I love just hanging out with and touching and kissing. But at the end of the day, what really turned me on was watching.
Well, okay.
Okay. So you'll take more of that.
Yep. Works for me.
You're not going to hear any argument from you.
Nope.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was
hot.
That was hot.
Yeah. So, a great weekend.
A great weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, it lived up to the hope.
Yeah.
Not the expectation.
Yeah, the hope.
It sure did live up to the hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking forward to New Orleans. But we've got a lot on tap before New Orleans. You're seeing your new guy this week.
Yeah, at some point in time, I see he's kicking. I can't read it, but he kicked this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pull that one off.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. I've seen his pictures.
I have to look at my schedule. Yeah, I know.
You'll figure it out.
How I'm supposed to come up with having to go over to Orlando or whatever my story is going to be. So, see him this week. We have a date with
maybe.
No.
Oh, she's not going to come?
No.
Okay.
No, I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, he said no, she wasn't available this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, just the three of us.
Yeah, well, as I just said, that's fine by me, because now I get to focus on you.
Uh-huh.
Now, I do like her, and I would like to play with her when I'm not on allergy medication and unable to perform.
Oh, what about ever asking to see her?
I suppose I could. I don't know that I made that enough of a connection with her, though, I don't know. I think I'd rather wait until we maybe all see each other. I think that's a little premature. I mean, I talked to her and enjoyed our conversation. She's sweet and smart and pretty, but it's probably that's a good thought, though. But I think it's premature at this point. So anyway, but so three of us will have fun.
Well, you should, if it comes up, you should casually tell, because that was me trying to relate it through.
Yeah.
Saying says he would really, you should. At some point
no, and he and I text pretty frequently.
Yeah,
on our own.
I mean,
talking.
Yeah.
My point being, I have no problem, asking him, and but we'll see how it comes up, or if it comes up. Anyway, but that'll be fun, and then it's another month before comes into town.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be plenty in between now and then.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anything more about this weekend?
Anything? No. It was awesome. It was hot. I would do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to see them. You know, it'd be nice if we could see them every
couple of months.
Couple times a year.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, excellent weekend. Yes. Great club.
Great experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think I learned a lot about, I mean, I just, you know, every time I do anything, I get so much more comfortable with it. So, the whole club thing, I've always liked it, but not really necessarily. I was so much more comfortable last night than I have been to date in any club setting. You know, whether it was Eyes or whether it was at Secrets, and maybe just, you know, because we were with I'm sure
right.
It helped a lot, obviously.
Yeah, if we had been by ourselves, it would have been very different because nobody else was playing with anybody else.
That's true.
And so the way that we're used to playing is that you go in and you play, but you can easily play with somebody else.
Right.
Like, you know, I hate to keep going back to Caliente, but I mean, so Trapeze is a sex club, but it's not necessarily a swingers club.
Yeah,
it's really.
That might be a good. Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. People go for a sexy environment to have sex with each other, and I mean to have sex, whichever. Women can have sex with women, but you're right. I just didn't see people chiming in with other people, and that's what I'm kind of used to because that's what we were introduced to.
Right.
Because that's how we, you know, by going to New Orleans.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely different. So I think if we had been by ourselves and gone to Trapeze, we would have been kind of going,
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, like nobody was trying to hook up with anybody else.
Yeah, that we could see.
Yeah, you know, because even, again, at Caliente, you're trying to hook up with other people. Or it's not uncommon, or it's commonplace.
Yeah.
You know, that happens.
And I think at Eyes also.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think Eyes is more of a swinger type club. Yeah, so I'll be curious to go there and, you know, to Eyes and do group room play there and see how that compares.